Good morning and welcome to the Oasis Center for Spiritual Living, where we come together as one, providing spiritual tools for daily living. All of a sudden I've got the hiccups. I don't know what happened. I must have brought in not enough air or too much air. I don't know how that works. Anyway. Oh, goodness. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the senior minister here at the Oasis. And I want to introduce to you this wonderful team that God has lent me for all of these services. The first being our beloved Faith. And Faith has been my assistant since she was born. She used to sit on the podium when I did announcements, and now she is 17, almost 18. We're getting there, January 21st. Anyway, she's my official assistant, and so she's also our soloist every Sunday, so we really appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you to all of you for being here as well, because I know there's 1,000 things you could be doing on a Sunday morning, and we're really glad you're here with us. And then there's my partner in crime, the wise and powerful Oz. He was my first baby practitioner, meaning he took all of his training with me, and he was my first. And then he was my board president for a number of years, and together since like 98. And then he moved away to Florida for a bit, and we lost him sort of, and now he's back. But he's in Wisconsin right now for the weather. Because nobody can do Florida in the summer. Oh my goodness! I know my friend Aurela runs away to Germany every year. So anyway,
can't blame her. I say I can't blame her.
No, me either. I mean, I get it. It's hot when I'm there in April and May. It's hot, so I can't even imagine July and August. But anyway, that being said, Oz is available. He prays us in and he prays us out, and he's available for our 1-minute miracle at the very end. So thank you for being here, Oz. We really appreciate you. And so that brings us to our topic today, which is There is Only Love. That's all I'm going to say for now. Okay, so if you're here, say hi, hello, good morning, however you would like to greet us. When we're in a facility, I can see who's out there, but this software doesn't allow me that ability. And I do like to know who's in the audience. Also, there's a watch party button if you would like to watch this with your friends. It's a great way for them to know what kind of services we provide. And also, you can talk back and forth between the two of you, or the 4 of you, or the 80 of you, however that works, because you can't disturb anybody because you're at home, right? And I also want to introduce the music, because every week we do We Are All One, which is a Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver song. She's gifted us with her music. And Karen Drucker, at the end, we do I Am So Blessed. And that is a Karen Drucker song. And we do almost all Karen Drucker songs. I think we've done almost all of them, haven't we, Faith? I think we've only missed a couple here and there. Because she has gifted us with her entire collection, which is like 20 CDs worth of songs. So we're really blessed to have them. And so I always like to introduce their music as well. All right. So with that being said, close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Allow the service to uplift and inspire you as we move into our centering song.
The presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
God, right here, right now, for God is all there is. It encompasses the entire universe, and it's creating it continuously from inside each one of us. It's that power that breathes us, that beats our heart, that causes thousands and thousands of organic compounds to be rushing through our systems at any given time, each finding their perfect place. The system that connects us with our environment and our environment with the planet and the cosmos beyond. All of that penetrated and animated by that one being that we call God. And I know that that being is in me right now and in each of you as you listen. That same presence, that same power animating and flowing through us. And I declare this to be good and very good. And since this is so good, I give great thanks and let it be so. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Oz. Oh, I love it when he prays. This next song is by Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver. As I said, we are all one. It is our philosophy. So it's a great one to sing and kind of get stuck as a meme in your head. But it is what we believe. So if you know the words to this song, sing it loud and sing it proud, because you can't bother.
We are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. I hear it and know it, my being. Spirit is all I am seeing. For God is all there is. Grateful am I to be living, open to what I receive, honoring what I've been given, sharing now what I believe. I remember the oneness around me. I surrender to infinite light, knowing the love that's surrounding me is within me by day and night. And we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. Yes, we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it.
Oh, goodness. Excuse me. For those of you who are here this morning, say hi, hello, good morning, however you would like to greet us. When we're in a facility, I can look out and see who's here, and it kind of, I love knowing who's here. So with this software, I don't have that ability, so please say hi, good morning, hello, however you'd like to greet us. Just let me know you're here. If something that you hear, either that I say or that Faith sings, that you really like, we've got the like button, that little thumbs up. If something we say or sing or pray that you love, you can always send us little hearts. We love getting love. And if something strikes you as really powerful, there's always the wow button. It lets me know that I'm on track and that I'm touching truth, right? Okay. Without further ado, I am going to introduce Faith singing Love Is All There Is by Karen Drucker.
Thank you. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am. letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, I go inside and quiet my mind. I can hear spirit say, there is only love. There is only love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love.
I got that wrong. There's only love is what that was called. I'm so bad at that stuff.
It's
You know,
okay.
I used to do like announcement pages. I don't know if you remember this because you were so such a baby, but I used to do announcement pages that had exactly the name of the song and the person who sang it, or wrote it, so that all I had to do was look down and read it. And I haven't been doing that. So now I can't ever remember anything. It's like I sign it off, I give it to you, I say, this is what you're singing. You go, okay. And that's it. Or in this case, you said, this is what I want to sing. And I said, okay. It goes out of my brain because it's no longer my responsibility, right?
Right? The struggle. Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, goodness. We like to have fun around here. All right. So the title of my song, or the title of my sermon is the same as the title as the song, I thought. Love is all there is. Which, there's a Beatles song, Love is all there is. All there is love. Do, 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 right? Yeah. That's what it made me think of. But I want to start out because what happens to me is like something inspires me. And even though that's the song we picked and I thought I was going to talk about love, which this is a form of love that I'm going to talk about today. But something inspires me. And this weekend, it just happened to be one of my mentor ministers, Reverend Dr. Marlene Morris, who wrote on the first anniversary of September 11th, wrote this thing. And since it's the 20th anniversary of 9/11, I thought I would go ahead and read this and then talk about the love that it represents, because that's really, I think, what it's all about. He wrote, they were human beings having normal Tuesday morning human experiences. They were men and women who had just stepped into airplanes and out of subways and parking garages, busily packing their brains with thoughts of the work to be done. They were focused idealists and distracted materialists. They were cockeyed optimists and grumbling pessimists, and arbitrary agnostics and devout atheists. They were Christians and Jews and Muslims and Buddhists and Christian scientists and religious scientists and Scientologists and scientists. They were gay and straight-faced and lesbian, straight-laced, and lesbian and labor leaders and hedonists and humanists and humanitarians and vegetarians and vagrants. Chances are that no noble cause sent them to work or to the airport that day. No brass bands marked their march into that war zone. No parades heralded their sacrifice. They walked innocently, stumbled awkwardly, all the way to glory. When the call came, they were waiting for elevators and email and return calls from clients they talked to on Monday and seatbelt signs to go off. They were laughing and grumbling and praying for raises and telling bad jokes, and some, most likely, were even taking the name of the Lord, someone's God, in vain. They were involuntary heroes. God bless them. And God bless the families and loved ones who mourn them. No one asked them if they were willing to make the sacrifice. And God forgive the spiritual arrogance of those who, in the name of God, took their airplanes and stopped their laughter and interrupted the prayers and the jokes and the future. They thought they knew what they were doing, but they could not have known. They could not have known. Not one life at a time, one laugh interrupted, one punchline left hanging. They could not have known. The stories of the lives unfinished. It is too terrible a thing to know. Too much for a human heart to hold. They could not have known. And if, in the moment before impact, they were given a glimpse into the window through which all is seen and known, if they saw through the eyes of any God and they knew, then God bless them. For surely in that moment they understood hell. It is a terrible thing to have to be right. We are called now to pick up the banner, to say the prayers, to move forward. It is not they who call us. Their voices are stilled. But it is their memory that unites us and more. And there is much to be done. Let us pray. In prayer, we will come to know what is ours to do and what is God's. Then let us do what we are called in prayer to do, to make this world a better place, not just for ourselves, but for everyone. This I know, we are called to be heroes, and this time we must volunteer. To me, that sounds so much like love. When we recognize that these people gave their lives, not willingly, well, some of them were willingly, the flight, the airline flight that crashed on purpose gave their lives willingly. But so many of these people didn't give their lives willingly. They were doing their due, right? They were just doing what they did. And in that one moment, they gave their lives. And we who were left behind, all we can do is love them for it. And so when I think about that on the 20th anniversary of 9/11, I also think about the pandemic, because it's the same. Nobody volunteered to give up their lives. Whether you believe, I know there's people out there that do not believe that 650 million lives were lost. Okay. Or that 650,000 in the United States were lost. I know there's people that believe that. But whether you believe it was 2 or 650,000 or 600 million, whether you believe any of that or not, you got to think about the idea that in love, these people gave their lives. Not willingly, not voluntarily, but they gave their lives. And again, it's the same thing. Like, they were all of these different people that I just talked about. They were all of these people that gave their lives in this pandemic. And the families that are left behind to deal with all of that are dealing with the same thing as if it was 9/11 all over again, right? Instead of a terrorist from out of the country, what we're dealing with is a terrorist virus on the inside. And so when I think about that, and for some of you know this, some of you don't know this, my mother-in-law, we believe, is in the process of dying. And we had a video chat with her yesterday. She looks good, but she's too weak to even really speak or eat. But I was thinking about, because what we were saying to her is, we love you, right? We wanted her to be able to go with dignity. And so we just said, we love you. And whatever you need to do for yourself, do. And, it's real important to us that she goes with dignity, that she has dignity to the very end, that she cannot, or that she won't feel like she's letting anyone down, or that we won't be okay without her, or any of that. So when I talk about what love looks like, to me, these are all instances of what love looks like, what God's love working through us looks like. The people who sacrificed their lives on 9/11, not knowingly, not voluntarily, but that was God's love coming through. And the people that have died from the pandemic, some close to us, some not so close to us. Thank you. Some not so close to us that we may not know, but there are people that were close to us that passed on from the pandemic. And that too, in our expression of our grief and our mourning and our celebration of their lives, is what love looks like. And so as we celebrate Tamiko, different people pronounce it differently. She was first generation Japanese American, or is, I should say. She hasn't gone yet. But when we are now watching this process and telling her how much we love her and how much we're going to miss her, I know that that's what love really looks like. It's not the kind of love where, well, if you loved me, if you really loved me, you would do that. Or if you really loved me, you would stop doing that. Or, love looks like you can't live without me, or something like that. That's a very selfish thing. When you love unconditionally and you love unselfishly, you of course want the best for that other person. And so while we mourn all of the people that died on 9/11, and we mourn all of the people that died as a result of the pandemic, and we mourn our individual families as they move on. She's 88. It's not like it's totally unexpected, but her mother lived to 105. So, and most of her siblings lived to late into their 90s. So we kind of expected her to also, but she got bladder cancer a year ago. Well, she was diagnosed a year ago. But anyway, so even though it's kind of sort of expected, it still is a process of understanding that all that matters in this moment is how much she loves us and how much we love her. Nothing else matters. None of the details matter. None of the, normal, like, gee, I wish you'd called more often. None of that matters. What matters in this moment is the love that is there between us. And so that made me think about, in any of those situations, all there is love. Love is all there is. Or as faith faith song. What is it called?
There is only love.
There is only love. There is only love in any of those situations if we really look for it. If we stop focusing on the hatred and the division that we are experiencing in this country right now, or even in the whole world, if we stop focusing on that and focus on all the love that's there underneath all of it, then we experience the love of God. We experience what it is to be holding the space for God's love to be in this world. Because that's really what it's about. When I love you, I am holding the space for God to love you. When you love me, you're holding the space for God to love me. And in that moment where I realize that that's what it is, then I literally am in love, right? Not in love like, oh, sappy, I'm in love. But I'm in love, meaning love is flowing through me and all around me. It is who and what I am, right? And I think that's what's most important to remember. When we're celebrating the life of anyone, whether they're alive or they're gone, when we're celebrating that life, what we're basically saying is none of the other stuff matters. All that matters is God and God's love that you expressed here on this earth. And I know, there's a lot of us, like my sister and I are now orphans. Our mom and our dad have both passed, and two of our brothers. And and I know that everybody grieves differently. But when I realized that instead of being focused on being an orphan, or that my brothers are gone and they're no longer here with me, for me, instead of focusing on that, I instead focused my attention on what they brought into this world. Like my mom and dad birthed me. I've lost two fathers. My mom and dad birthed me. They created me. And because of that, I'm grateful, because I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for them, right? And then there's my stepfather, who I don't see as my stepfather because he raised me since I was 3.5. I see him as my father. But he took me into his home, and I'm grateful that he was there for me. I'm grateful that he was God's agent in the world to provide that love for me so I could be stronger and be able to move in my life. Yes, I feel abandoned at times. When my first father died, my biological father, I was 2.5. I feel abandoned. I do. But when I think about what it was that he brought into my life, the love of God, and created me, I can only be grateful. And I let go of that feeling of abandonment. I let go of the idea that he needed to stick around for the rest of my life for me to be happy. Because his love was there for me to create me. And his love was there for me to leave my life so that I could have a different life, right? If we really believe that everything happens for a reason, if we really believe, like I do, that there is something in my life that I have contracted for to have an experience in this life, I do believe that before I came to this life, I did some contracts. I wasn't conscious of them. Please understand that. I didn't go, gee, it'd be really nice if my dad died when I was 2.5. That isn't what it's about. What it is about is that I contracted to have an experience in this world. And the only way that can happen is if these sequences of events happen. And so, like I'm really famous for saying, everything that has happened in my life has created who I am. I wouldn't be myself if it wasn't for that. So when I look at the people in my life who were there for a short time or a long time and loved me and provided God's love to me so that I may experience that, so that I may have the experience I contracted for. And when I think about the people who died on 9/11, and when I think about the people who have died in this pandemic, and when I think about my mother-in-law on her way out, when I think about all of that, I'm really grateful for the idea that God loves us so completely, so absolutely unconditionally, that we have free will to live our lives the way we want, to create the life that we want or that we think we want, until we discover later that isn't exactly what we want. But, those course corrections are all part of God's love. You know what a course correction, right? Like even airplanes and boats. Boats are, you can really feel it in a boat. You don't really feel it in an airplane so much. But when you're on a boat, what you notice is that it's like this. It's not a straight line. It is a course correction. It's a constant course correction to go with the flow of the waves. And the airplane is the same thing. Well, in our lives, that's what we do. We course correct. And everything that happens in our world, notice I didn't say happens to us, but everything that happens in our world is a direct, it's directly influenced by our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Not the individual ones, but the preponderance of them. And if I want to see this kind of world, where love is the absolute, that all I experience is love, then I have to be willing to let go of the negative charge on all of it. The negative charge on all those people who died on 9/11. I mean, I lost a couple of congregants over that, because the night the 9/11 happened, we all got together at the church. Oz, you can remember this. We got together at the church and we were meditating and praying for love. And there was a couple people who were so angry at what happened that they couldn't feel the love. They couldn't let themselves love in that moment. And they literally left the church because I wasn't addressing the anger and I wasn't addressing the hate. Because I knew that the only solution to any of it was to pull love through all of the pain, to expose the love that was underneath all the hate and anger, to let love be the guiding force that took us all to that place of knowing that life would be okay, that we would all be okay. And that's, I think, the shift that happened on 9/11, because all of the communities that came together that were very unlikely pals, buddies, communities, all the unlikely pairings that happened as a result of 9/11 was God showing up in love, was God showing its love in everyone, because we all came together and we all focused on that love, that one thing that we had in common, instead of focusing on hating. Well, some of us, hated Muslims for a while. But the thing was that it wasn't the Muslims that caused this. It wasn't necessarily them. It was a group of fanaticals that caused it. And it had nothing to do with the Muslims here. And so when we began to see that, when we began to see the love that was present, whether we were Christian or Muslim or Jewish or atheists or agnostics or, whatever, when we began to see that that was the love of God shining through all of this, and that was the opportunity to be grateful for that love instead of focused on that hate, then we began to experience the blessed life, what I call the blessed life. The life that is blessed with a knowledge and awareness of the spiritual significance of God's love in our lives. And I think this pandemic, in a way, has done the same thing, although it has done more to separate us than bring us together, unfortunately. People who are on either sides of the mask issue, people who are on opposite sides of the vaccine issue, people who are on opposite sides of whether this is a real virus or not, a real pandemic or not. It's separated us in a way that 9/11 brought us together. And yet, underneath all of that, I do believe there is love. I do believe that the outcome of all of this eventually is going to be a unity of God's love. And it's going to take some time. It's going to take some work. But those of us who are being called to love in this moment will know that our only focus needs to be on the love of God, not on the hatred, not on the division, not on the opposite, not on the, well, you're not getting vaccinated, so I hate you, or you're getting vaccinated, so I hate you. Not any of that. That instead, all we need to focus on is the love of God and how it shows up in the world and how it shows up in everyone that we meet and everyone that is in our awareness. Because if they're in our awareness, they are part of us, right? That's the beauty of all of this. And as Tamiko, my mother-in-law, goes through this experience, I do know that my focus needs to be on the love of God as it has been experienced through her. Has it always been a perfect relationship between her and I? No. We're very different people, and we didn't always get along. But in this moment, none of that means anything. In this moment, the only thing that means something is that I was privileged to be her daughter-in-law, because I was privileged to experience God's love through her. Because under it all, I do know that she loved me or loves me. I do know that. And I know that I love her. Even though our opinions are very different and our values are very different and all of those things are very different, the only thing that matters is the love that exists there, the God's love that exists there. And so as we go into the world this coming week, I want us to focus on the fact that all there is love. All there can ever be is love. Because that's all there is. God's love pervades this world in ways we have yet to understand. And so let's practice that this week. Let's go into the void, so to speak, with God's love in our heart and on our mind, and as our beacon of what is possible and what is prevalent here in this world. Only God's love. Can you do that with me? Let's have a prayer. I just move my awareness right now to the infinite power, the infinite presence of God. To that place within me that knows beyond human understanding just how powerful, how prevalent, how beautiful that is. God is all there ever was, all there ever will be, and all there is right here, right now. Only God. And so this is where I find myself, in the midst of God. My very essence, my very life, my very being. It is who and what I am. And every thought, every deed, every action is guided and led by that wisdom of the ages that is God within me, God within all of us. That infinite intelligence that flows through me as God's wisdom. Who and what I am. And that same truth is so for this team that God has provided to deliver the message. We are all one. And while we are human doings, doing what we need to so that God's message goes out into the world, the spiritual beingness of us is connected through God. So I know this for Faith and for Tina and for Oz and for Lynn, that we are all one. That we are absolutely blessed with that power and presence flowing through us. I know that to be so for every name that is in the ministry of prayer this week. As I know this for all who are viewing this, whether that's in real time or later on. For we are all one. There is no place where one leaves off and the other begins. No place where we leave off and God begins. No place where God leaves off and we begin. We are only connected by it, through it, as it. For we are all one. Mitakuye Oyasin. So it is with this awareness that I bless this coming week, because I do know that opportunities show up for us to revel in God's love, to put aside the appearance of anything unlike that or the opposite of that. For as we experience the love of God, as we focus our attention there, anything that appears to be unlike that just disappears back into the nothingness from which it came. And only God's love exists. And that's the only experience we have. So I claim this for every name that is in the ministry of prayer today, that no matter what condition they are experiencing, God's love is the answer, underlying all of it. And I pull back that veil, revealing that truth here and now as more powerful than any condition. I call it, claim it, and receive it in their names as good and very good. My heart fills with gratitude as I just let this be. And so it is. Amen. Oh my. I think I told you that I was asked to pray in at my 48th high school reunion a couple weeks ago. And it was really interesting, realizing that I don't know who the audience is. These are people I grew up with from the time I was a little child. And I didn't know what faiths were represented in, So I made it just pretty neutral. But it's pretty cool when you get to pray like that. I was always told in my training that you never pass up an opportunity to pray for someone. So this is our opportunity to receive your gifts, tithes, and offerings, and your opportunity to express your gratitude for that which you have already received in the physical form, and that which you have manifested in the mind of God, but may not have experienced yet in the physical form. But it's on the way, right? Please go to www.oasiscsl.org. Faith has that displayed on the screen as well as in the comment section. And about 2/3 down the page is the offering affirmation that we say to bless all of the money that we either give out or that we take in. We use that same thing when I write a check and send it off in the mail. I do this blessing on it. And so I invite you, whether you're viewing this in real time or later on, to participate with us by going to oasiscsl.org, going about 2/3 down the page and saying this offering affirmation with me. Ready? This perfect gift is spirit in form, circulating and blessing all it touches. Freely I give and joyously I receive. And so it is. All right, so as I said, this is a great way to bless any money that comes into your household and goes out of your household. It's a wonderful practice to get into, just as the closing song is a wonderful practice to get into. Because when you count your blessings, when you're in that state of grace, that state of blessing, that state of gratitude, then the world just opens up for you. And God's love is really everything that you experience. So that being said, we have this wonderful team of licensed practitioners from coast to coast that will pray every day on any requests that you have for a week. So if you would like someone to pray for you, please in the comments section, put that prayer request there. If you don't want to do it publicly, you can always reach out to us by messenger, and we will make sure, Faith will make sure that it gets on that private group page for Facebook that only our God Squad has access to. And while I'm at it, I'll talk about the God Squad. That's what we call our ministry of prayer, our licensed practitioners. But we also have the opportunity for people who are not necessarily licensed practitioners, but who are willing to do affirmative prayer every day for a week and keep those prayer requests confidential and make sure that you follow up on that. We will accept you as one of our prayer partners or our God Squad. So if you would like to do that, type yes in the comment section, and Faith will add you to that group page that is our God Squad page that has the prayer requests, and only the God Squad has access to it. But please know that our practitioners are available by appointment for a fee for spiritual guidance as well. And if you're interested in that, you just reach out to them by video chat or message them and let them know that you would like to set up a session with them, and they'll figure out a way for you to pay them either with a Cash App or Venmo or PayPal or something like that. Every practitioner does it differently, and we don't get involved in any of that. We just let them know that it's available. So they will set up an appointment with you, and then they will video chat you at your appointed time. In the meantime, our beloved Oz, our wise and powerful Oz, is available for what we call our 1 minute miracle. It's not a time for counseling, but a time where you can share with him what condition you're experiencing, and he will stop, drop, and pray with you right then and there. And so it's a great service he provides. So reach out to him by video chat. If you don't get him right away, he's probably on a call with someone else. Call back a little bit later, but know that he's available for that. And then if you would like to be part of our online community, type more in the comments section, and we will add you to our public-facing group page on Facebook, which is where we post anything that any events we're offering before we post them everywhere else. For instance, we have the Foundations of Science and Mind class that is starting October. What did I say? I keep forgetting to create a slide for that. Let me just check. What? You're muted, babe.
October 7th is, I think, what you said it was.
October 7th, yeah. So if you're interested in doing that, because we don't have a registration form for it, please message me directly, and we will get you the information on our Venmo account so you know how to pay for it. We're having you pay $30 per class for the first 5 classes. That way we don't have to issue refunds if you decide it's not your bailiwick. You only pay for those first 5 classes if you're interested. If you continue to be interested, on the 5th class, we ask you to pay the balance of $150. The class itself is $300 for 10 weeks, which includes a fee that we pay to home office to keep the records for you. And then if you have already taken the class and you want to audit it for $30, let me know. Just message me and let me know. The 10 weeks is $30 for audit. It's $300 if you haven't taken it before. And just message me and we'll get that handled. We have a couple of vendors that we always like to talk about here. Brooks and Bailey is the first one. She has bracelets and mala beads. All of the benefits are for Rocky Mountain Lab Rescue. You can get a hold of her through Brooks and Bailey 0307@gmail.com. Her bracelets are awesome. I haven't gotten any of her mala beads, but I'm sure they're awesome as well. She loves what she does, and she puts a lot of love into it. The next one is Faith's company.
And we have intention jars as well as bath salts, so definitely check us out. Our website is themysticbrew.com, where you can find all of our products as well as the supply kits to make your own intention jar. Prices have changed, so definitely go take a look. And then also follow all of our social media at the Mystic Brew 303. We are doing a giveaway here soon, so you're going to want to be following that for the chance to win.
Okay, thank you. And then as an adjunct to that, we have Angel Renee's intention candles and tea bags. And so the intention candles are $25, apparently. I went back and looked at what she said on her message. It was $25 for the candles and $10 for the tea bags. The tea bags are kind of cool. You like put them in the bath with you as you focus your attention on your intention. Kind of like the candles, the same thing. You know, you light those and you focus your attention on your intention. Just like with faith, all of the intention jars. All of this is all based on the same idea that whatever you are intending for your life, you want to focus your attention on it. And these things are tools that help facilitate that. So anyway, also, we like to support those who support us. So of course, we always suggest that you go to Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver's website and purchase her CDs. She cannot update her website for some reason, and she travels all year round, all over the place. Most of the time she's in Florida when she's home, but she goes all over the United States. Excuse me, again, the hiccups. She goes all over the United States singing and playing her songs. And so somehow or other, she's not able to update her website. So you will have to contact her through her email to find out how to pay for the song or the CDs. And she will get them out to you. She travels around with all the CDs on her. It's really funny. One time I went to dinner with her in Sarasota. And I said, yeah, I need to get another couple CDs. And so she goes, oh, come on. She opens up her trunk and it's just like, there's no room to put anything else in that trunk because it's all CDs. So she always travels with all of that. So definitely support her. She supports us. And then Karen Drucker, whose website does work, and you can pay for either by song or by CD or by songbook. And some of her songbooks even have American Sign Language in them.
Today's
yes.
song is from Songs of Spirit 2 as well.
Oh, Songs of Spirit 2. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, she has, there's actually 4 Songs of Spirit. There's Songs of Spirit 2, Songs of Spirit 3, and Songs of Spirit 4. So if you're interested in today's song, it is Songs of Spirit 2. Thank you so much, Faith. I always forget to do that. And hers does work, so you can pay for it right then and there. I just love Karen Drucker's songs. She has gifted us with her entire collection of 20 CDs. So we do ask that you support those that support us, because we couldn't do this without them. So, or without you for that matter. We couldn't do this without you. So we're glad you're here with us. All right. So check out our website, www.oasiscsl.org. That is our website that has the sermons, videos from the past year and a half, and the audio sermons from years prior. We are also available on YouTube and SoundCloud, as S. Tucker. And on YouTube, we have the video sermons from the last year and a half. And on SoundCloud, we have the audio sermons from years prior. I think we started doing that in 2010 or 2011. So you can go back all the way then and listen to what we have on there. So, and I'm working very hard to get that updated. But also on our website, you have the ability to see what kind of events we have. We have some pictures from picnics and our ordinations and some parties that we had at the church, just to kind of get an idea of what kind of community we are. And also, there is information on our practitioners so you can get a hold of them. So anyway, go to our website and check it out. And sing this next song with us loud and proud. If you don't know the words, learn the words. It's a great meme. Like I said, you live as a blessing when you are declaring a blessing in your world.
blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And I know the blessings of God proceed forth from this moment onward, for God is always with us. God is always in us, living as us and supporting us through all we do. And I know that that great bubble of God expands out into the universe and meets nothing else but God. God meeting God is what we are. And I know this is a good thing. And I send forth these blessings to you and to the world. And I let it be. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Oz. Thank you, all of you, for being here today. We're so blessed you were with us. I know there's 1,000 things you could be doing on a Sunday morning, and having you here is a blessing for us. Stay safe, wear a mask, get your vaccination, and join us here every Sunday, but most particularly next Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Bye for now. We love you.